Another video. Now, you can tell by the title, this video is going to be about Brian Burns and his lack of production through 4 games. Now, the New York Giants in the offseason paid Brian Burns a 5-year, $141 million contract, highest paid contract besides the quarterback in New York Giants history. And you expected him to be a dominant edge rusher and probably have more production than he has right now. I mean, on the season, he is 32nd out of 72 edge rushers with at least 50 pass rushing reps that has a pass rush win rate of 12.8, which is most people be like, okay, well, that's too low and we expect more. Well, this is just really what Brian Burns really is. He never was the top of the league in pass rush win rate. Now, last year, he might have been top 25, but he was never top 10. He's not a top 10 pass rusher, and this is just who he is. Now, you would say it's an overpay, but I mean, maybe it is, but I think you're not gonna get like a Michael Parsons or um like Cleo Mack when the Bears traded for, like, you're not getting one of those players. You're getting a good pass rusher, but you're not getting like a superstar. Now, obviously, he's a big name and he's made, I think he's made a couple Pro Bowls, but he's not a superstar player. And I kind of, you would expect more because last week he had 25 pass rush attempts against Terrence Steele, and he's a solid tackle. But you feel that your $141 million tackle defensive end should probably create more pressure. And 25 snaps against Terrence Steele, he had zero pressures. Now, the only play he made against Dallas last week was a tackle for loss. I mean, his stats on the season through 4 games is 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, and 3 quarterback hits, which I think he has like 5 pressures on the season. It's been a little bit underwhelming, but maybe he gets a little hot towards the mid-season. That's what I'm hoping at least. But yeah, I mean, draws a lot of double teams too, so that could be a case. And always getting shipped. I think so far Kayvon Thibodeau has been a little better than him. They're not really a far off talent wise. I mean, obviously Brian Burns is a different type of pass rusher where he uses his speed and agility to win, where Kayvon Thibodeau will use more power and finesse. So there are two different types of pass rusher skill sets. Like Thibodeau is 6'4", like 265, or Brian Burns is 6'6", 250. So that could be a reason why he's not winning. It depends on the matchups, but yeah, it's not like Ryan Burns is a bad pass rusher. It's just fans expect this guy to be like the Michael Parsons for us. So I don't think it's really he's doing that bad of a job, in my opinion, personally. And I know he is week 4, but you do want to see him be dominant against a team like Dallas because that's what you're really paying him for is the win in the trenches within the NFC East and really any team you're playing. But in the NFC East, teams are that win here are mostly built who has a better offensive line, defensive line. Now, obviously, the offensive line's improved, but that's not what we're talking about here. The whole D line is I mean Thibodeau. I don't really like Thibodeau had a bad first week. Second week, he was pretty good. I feel like he should have had a sack because Washington got called back for a horrible holding call, and then against the Browns, he had a good sack against Shawan Jones. Only had half, and then against Dallas, he had a pretty good sack too. He drew 2 holding calls. He had 5 pressures. I think Thibodeau is a good player, and I think he'll continue to build on this of that game. And I think he'll have his best season yet, in my opinion, at least, because he never really most pass rushers don't really start fast and they finish better as the season goes. That's kind of how it works for pass rusher. But yeah, I don't think the pass rush is really that bad. I just think when you look at like PFF, the grading, and we obviously pass rush win rate 30. Obviously, again, I think it's 32, yeah, 32 among 72 edge rushers with at least 50 snaps. Yeah, obviously you want that to be a little higher, but it is only week 4, so we could evaluate at the end of the season. Maybe he's like 16th, and I'll be happy with that. But yeah, I don't think we'll get a little too crazy about it. I'm not gonna really make anything of it yet because it's only 4 games, and he did show some potential to be good with the Giants against Cleveland, against a pretty solid offensive line. It's just against Dallas, he was seeing a little more double teams, a couple more chips than he normally would. Dexter Lawrence is also getting doubled 8% time, so you do want him to try to win those pass rush snaps. But unfortunately, he didn't. But yeah, I don't really have a problem. I think he's been pretty good in the run too. It might not show up on the stat sheet, but he is pretty good at setting the edge as a defensive end, and he does provide some coverage snaps, dropping back in the schemed defense. So yeah, I don't think he's really that bad, but obviously most Giants fans would expect more. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for this video. But Yeah, let me know what you guys think of Brian Burns, and do you think he's overpaid? Do you think he's doing a good job? I think he's doing a good job, but that's just me. When you look at statistics, you're gonna be like, okay, well, you need more from there, but it's not always about the stats. Stats do win you games, but not all the time. You're not always gonna see winning plays in stat sheets. So yeah, that's about it for today's video, and yeah. Also, another thing I'm going to point out is when you don't have a cornerback that can cover for more than half a second, it's also really hard to get home and win a pass rush attempt, which is another thing. A lot of teams are short against the Giants. The Giants also play the short game. So, yeah, that's about it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, if you made it this far. Thank you so much for the support.